if you're trying to lose weight and you're not losing weight quickly enough, a whole bunch of things you can do that's going to speed along the whole process. We'll go over why your weight can fluctuate from day to day. I literally can gain 5 pounds one day, lose 5 pounds the other. It has to do with water weight. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the importance of being in a calorie deficit, how to maintain a calorie deficit. We'll talk about cycling calories. We'll talk about why it's so important to prioritize protein. We'll talk about consistently working out is also a big factor in speeding up the whole weight loss process. Then we'll talk about some advanced techniques. We'll talk about the OMAD diet, a 24-hour fast. I like to do that when people hit weight loss plateaus. I do that a lot with people in my private coaching group. I actually did this presentation for everyone last Sunday in my private coaching group. Every Sunday, 11 o'clock, I do a whole Zoom presentation for everyone in the group. And then we'll also talk about stress, sleep, hormones, things like that. These are all factors. And we'll take our time. We'll break it all down. Let me see if anyone's here. Also, guys, I think you know we're going to do a lot of Q&A. You're going to ask your questions. I can pull your questions into the live stream. I think, hey, Chris here. Thanks for showing up, Chris. Let me show you how that works. See, I can pull in Chris's question. Chris, hello, Mike. The sound and video looks great. Thanks so much. Yeah, last time I think I had the sound a little bit too high and it was clipping a little bit. So I kind of lowered the sound a little bit today. So hopefully it'll sound a lot better. And then we'll even pull some meal examples in, at the end of the live stream as well, too. And I'm going to try to do this. I used to go, like, as you guys know, if you follow me, I used to go live on YouTube every single week. Since I've been going live with my private coaching group every Sunday, I don't do this often. I think I'm going to try to do it maybe every other week at this time, maybe Thursday at 4 o'clock if that works for everyone. Let's see how many people show up today. I notified a lot of people. I emailed about a few thousand people. So not only am I going live on YouTube right now, I'm going live on Facebook. I'm going live on LinkedIn. And I think I wish I can go live on Instagram, but I can't. It's it's a different format. It's more of that vertical format. But let's jump right into it. Let's go into the first slide. No, I got about 45 minutes. I actually have a consultation call right around 5 o'clock, so we'll try to get through this in less than an hour. This is an interesting thing. When it comes to like weight fluctuations, I think you really have to know your personality. See, I personally do like to weigh myself every single day, but I do some advanced techniques when it comes to controlling my weight. Like I really cycle my calories. I'll do like a number of low calorie days, deplete my muscles from glycogen, and then I may do a high carb day, and I can literally be 5 pounds heavier in one day from the day before. But it doesn't psychologically mess me up. It doesn't throw me off because I know this is a long-term process. But I do find for most people, a lot of the people that I'm coaching, just from doing this for 40 years and dealing with literally like thousands of people get so upset that when they're following a diet or they're following a plan to lose some weight and they wake up one day and they're 3 pounds heavier. Or they weigh themselves every single day and these weight fluctuations really, really throw them off. So the first thing I would say is that when you fluctuate like 2 to 3 pounds a day, it has to be water weight. And let me explain why. I always give this example. A pound of body fat on the body is 3,500 calories. A banana is 100 calories. So for you to wake up one day and be 2 pounds heavier from the day before, did you really eat an additional 70 bananas worth of calories to gain 2 pounds? You didn't. You just eat it. A few different things happen. Either you ate like a high salty type meal. Maybe you took in a lot of sodium, which made you hold water. But most of the time is that you ate carbohydrates that get stored in the muscle in the form of glycogen. This is what happens when you eat a meal. Let's say you have a hamburger with the bun, maybe have a baked potato along with it. Obviously, whatever calories you're not burning right then, you're going to store away those excess calories. Where do those calories go? It's actually a good thing. It's protective, right? Because you want to control blood sugar. You want to lower blood sugar. Body produces insulin. Carbohydrates get stored in the muscle and the liver in the form of glycogen. So whenever I say glycogen, I just mean stored carbohydrates. Fats go in the fat cells. Yes, there's protein for protein synthesis. Protein really isn't stored, but there is a amino acid pool which can take, you literally can digest and process protein for 12, if not 12 or more hours. So you're kind of like storing and using that protein. When you fill up your muscles with carbohydrates, you're going to hold 3 or 4 grams of water for every gram of carbohydrates, every gram of glycogen you store within your muscles. So you literally, when you fill your muscles up by eating like a high carb meal, or even just like overeating in general, you can literally be 3-4 pounds heavier the next day. So don't get upset if you wake up one day and you're 3-4 pounds heavier. Don't let it throw you off, because I know that's all it takes for a lot of people, is that they're doing so good, they're like slowly or consistently losing weight. They go out one night, have a couple slices of pizza and a little bit of bread, and they wake up the next day, they're 3 pounds heavier, and they say, oh my God, this is not working, this diet, and they just give up. Don't give up. It's just water weight. Let me say hello to some other people. Fatal, thanks for showing up. Just jumped on. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Hey, Scott. Thanks for showing up too, Scott. My metabolism is slow. Can I do keto? OMAD for a few months daily for weight loss. Scott, that would be. I would like to know more about you. That would be kind of an extreme thing. I think dipping into ketosis is a good thing. If people don't know what keto means, it's just that you eat a very low carb diet, and the liver starts producing ketone bodies like beta hydroxybutyrate. It can get kind of technical, but it's a fat burning state, but it still has to do with calories. Like, you can be in keto, and if you're still taking in too many calories from fat, you might not lose weight. Well, what I would do for you, but I do like moderate to low carb diets. That's, I like a paleo Mediterranean style of eating. I do like OMAD. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day. But the reason why I like OMAD so much is because you're going to be in a calorie deficit. So these are some advanced techniques I do with people. What you got to do, Scott, is get into a calorie deficit that's manageable for you. What's going to keep your metabolism up, right, is maintaining your muscle mass. So when you go into the calorie deficit, you do want to do your resistance training. You also want to eat a high protein diet, which we're going to talk about in this presentation, because protein has a high thermic effect. So eating protein kind of like boosts up your metabolism, because when you eat 100 calories of protein, you're going to burn up 25 to 30% of those calories just digesting and processing the protein. It's almost like free calories. Buy 2, get 1 free, right? So that's why protein is so key for keeping your metabolism up. And you could have a slow metabolism, but I have found most people don't necessarily have a slow metabolism. It could be challenging for you to lose weight for multiple different reasons. We're going to go over that here. But I would get into a calorie deficit. You can fool around with OMAD. If you like keto, you can do that. The only thing I don't like keto long term, because I don't think you're going to be taking in enough protein. If you're doing a really like traditional ketogenic diet where you're taking in very low carbs and almost like very low protein, and almost all your calories coming from fat. I like more of a modified version, maybe low carb or moderate carb, keep your protein up, get into a calorie deficit. And I like throwing in some OMAD days for low calorie days, and I like cycling. Some days you eat more, some days you eat less. So maybe intermittently do OMAD. Maybe you can do it once, twice, 3 times a week. Those are your low calorie days, right? We'll talk about it more. I think you'll get a lot out of this presentation, Scott, as we go. Hey, Meaning, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is a decision you have to make, like a personal decision. Do you want to weigh yourself every day? If you have a personality that gets upset and you know it's going to throw you off and you know it's going to be discouraging, because you can, like I said, you can fluctuate 2 to 5 pounds a day from water weight, you're probably better off weighing yourself once a week or once every 2 weeks. And as long as the scale's going down, as long as you're going in the right direction, great. But if you weigh yourself every day and you get upset and you get discouraged, don't do it. Or just really know it's purely water weight, these big fluctuations. So that's just like a psychological thing that you have to get your head around when you think you're not losing weight quick enough. Because sometimes you are losing body fat, but you go out, you overeat one night, you're just taking a little carbs, you have some sushi, which I think is relatively healthy, even sashimi, which is just the meat, but you use soy sauce, which is crazy high in sodium. You're doing so good, you wake up the next day, you're 4 pounds heavier. So many people just give up right then. So just keep that in mind. I think I drove that home, that point home pretty good. Any questions, let me know, guys. Now, this is the biggest thing. This is what I find. Most likely, and I know people may not believe it, because I get these emails, I get the calls, I get the texts every single day because, I think I just hit 158,000 followers on Instagram. I get like 100 DMs, direct messages every single day. Even the YouTube right here, my YouTube channel is doing great, 50,000 followers. I get comments, I get emails, people leave messages on my phone at the gym. It's really funny. They somehow track me down. They go to my website and they say, Mike, I can't lose weight. I mean, I'm only eating 1,200 calories a day. I'm eating a good amount of protein. I'm working out. I'm going to Orange Theory. I'm killing myself in the gym, and I can't lose any weight. I would say 90% of the time when someone tells me that, and then they're willing to really be diligent, meaning like weigh their food, really take it to the next level, measure everything, they're not eating 1,200 calories. They're eating 1,600 calories. They're eating 1,700 calories. That's happened hundreds, dozens and dozens, I would say hundreds of times with me because I've worked with so many people over the years. You're really most likely the number one reason why you're not losing weight quick enough is the calorie creep. You're just consuming more calories than you think. And I know people don't want to hear this, but if you look at the research, it's really the truth. It's a numbers game, guys. And it's consistency. Like so many people, or maybe you're eating, that person says, I'm eating 1,200 calories, may eat 1,200 calories 3 days in a row, or 5 days in a row. Then the weekend comes, you have one piece of cheesecake, 800 calories, 1,200 calories, you go to the Cheesecake Factory, right? 100 calories over your maintenance calories. So maintenance calories meaning that you're eating that ideal amount of calories where you're not losing or you're not gaining. 100 calories over maintenance. Let's assume your activity level is the same. You're not being more active. Everything is exactly the same. You do that every single day, which is what? 1.5 Oreo cookies, you're 10 pounds heavy at the end of the year. It's crazy how this calories creep in. So it depends how far you want to take it. There's so many different ways to get into a calorie deficit. But most likely, if you're not losing weight quick enough, you're not in a calorie deficit, or your calorie deficit is too mild. This is another thing where you have to know your personality. If you're the personality type that doesn't get discouraged quickly, maybe you just want to go into a mild calorie deficit. What's nice about a mild calorie deficit, say just maybe 300 to 500 calories a day, you're looking to lose 3/4 to a pound a week consistently. That gives you a lot of energy to go to the gym if you like to work out hard, if you like to do your HIIT cardio. That might be a good plan for you. But if you're the other type, and this is how most people are, most people get discouraged so quickly. I'd rather you be more aggressive. Like if you go into an aggressive calorie deficit, like those are the videos I make all the time, my short videos. That's the fat burning phase. You're multiplying your body weight by 10, you're multiplying your goal weight by 10, you're looking to lose 1% of your body weight per week. You got to be diligent tracking your calories, and you have to do it at least once in your life. I've been doing it like on and off my whole life. Like I don't necessarily have to look every food up. But most of the time, guys, you're consuming too many calories. Let's see what Scott's got. I destroyed my metabolism by yo-yo dieting. I lose weight very slowly, and I'm only 25 years old. Okay, Scott, I bet your metabolism, I know you feel this is the case, but probably your metabolism is not as bad as you think. Unless you were doing something, just the fact that you're only 25, you have a lot of muscle on you. Unless you were doing something like, the Biggest Loser TV show, where literally you were eating next to nothing. You're eating like 500-600 calories a day. And you're working out 3-4 hours a day. And you did that for extended periods of time, like months and months on end. If you did something like that, you can probably damage your metabolism. And not that you can't repair it by just eating maintenance calories for a while and just maybe not looking to lose weight, maybe reverse diet a little bit like that. But I bet, Scott, at 25 years of age, I'm sure your metabolism is not as damaged as you might think. So what I would do in your case is I would get into just a moderate calorie deficit for now, eat a good amount of protein, do your resistance training, do your cardio, create like a baseline, level it out for a while, do that for a few weeks, see what happens, and then you can maybe be more aggressive. But at 25, you're so young and you got tons of muscle. You can turn this around, Scott. There's no question in my mind. You can do it. Okay. Another thing you have to keep in mind with a calorie deficit, as you guys know, is that as you lose weight, you have to keep on reducing your calories if you want to keep on losing. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. A lot of the videos I make when I talk about like multiplying your body weight by 10, and then your goal weight by 10, and then cycling between the two. So let's give an example. Let's say you're a 200-pound person and you want to weigh 170, you want to lose 30 pounds. One day you eat